welcome back to another video, and this will be my makeup haul video for the month of May. Welcome back, and today I'll be showcasing the makeup items that I got during the month of May, and wow, it's pretty surprising to think that we're already like on the May, and actually on the week that this video is going live, after that it's gonna be June and we're gonna be halfway through the year, and we're all gonna be wondering that where did the year already go. But yeah, we could call this the last makeup haul of like spring months, because I think the officially how you divide is that May is still technically like spring, and then from June it's summer months. But yeah, about this month's haul, I don't think we have that. Well, okay, we do have quite a decent amount of things, but we have some like staple things that I had to buy because I actually went through my lip liners. Lip liners are something that I don't go through in my declutter videos because I have certain lip liners and I actually use my lip liners up, so I don't actually buy lip liners when I don't need new ones. But it was time to sort of go through my lip liners because I had a lot of ones that were getting old and were getting like very short. So there's gonna be some lip liners here. You won't see the lip liners in my makeup review video because I just re-bought some formulas that I have been like talking about previously on my channel. But a few eyeshadow palettes, and then we actually have a new brand that I haven't featured in my channel. I'm actually wearing some of the stuff, so I'm gonna be saying also my first impression because it's the first time that I use the products. But we're gonna be having a new brand that I'll be reviewing then during June, since when I have had the products in my rotation I have had enough time to try them out. But let's start talking about what I got during May. So I think I'm gonna save the palettes for last, but let's first go through the boring stuff, at least for me, which are the lip liners. So I sort of went through my lip liner and storage, and I got some replaced some staples. So these are the W7 lip liners. I've always said these are one of the best bang for your buck, especially since you get a lot of product in one lip liner. And I bought the shades that I have had previously, so I'm just putting this so you can kind of see the shades, and the shades were Fling, Restricted, and then the last one was Stylish. So these are nothing new. I have previously talked about this one. This is a more, what I would say, a creamier lip liner formula, so if you're looking for a creamier drugstore lip liners, I would recommend the W7 ones. Then two shades that I got from NYX lip liners. So again, I'm bringing this close so you can kind of see. So I got the shades, where do they have to be? Peekaboo Neutral, and then the other one was Mauve. So the NYX formula is definitely a bit more drier than the MUA one, and this is preference things. I in some days like a more drier lip liner that stays put a bit better, and then some days I want a creamier one. So if you're looking for a bit something, a lip liner that kind of sets down a bit, then I would go with the next ones. But again, this is a lip liner formula that I have worn for years and years, so you're not gonna see this in a review video. Then let's go to the stuff from when I discussed that there is gonna be a new brand review. I usually do a collective makeup review video where I go through all the products that I have tried, but with this one I think I might do one of those individual brand review videos. I have done these on P. Louise products because usually I get P. Louise like once a year or buy a bigger amount of stuff from them, and then I want to put those. But with these ones I think I'm gonna also put them in a individual brand review video. So this is another sort of Scandinavian brand. So a couple of months ago I think I reviewed some Gosh Copenhagen products, and now we're trying out some Luminate products. So this is a Finnish makeup brand, and I think this is a drugstore brand, but a lot of these are technically more in the mid-range price point. So first one is this one. So this is a Natural Glow foundation. I discussed in my previous makeup review video that it is time for me to start looking into glowy foundation because my skin has been a bit changing in the last couple of years. This is the foundation I'm currently wearing, and the shade is 05 Light. Even though this is 05 Light, I do think I could have actually gone with the 00, which is like very light shade, because this is a tad orangey leaning, even though I tried to look on their website that this apparently was supposed to be something suitable for maybe cooler undertones, but this, I think it's a tad maybe a bit too orangey leaning for me, but I do think on camera it looks okay. And this is definitely glowier. I did powder this a little bit, and you can kind of now make your own first impression because this is the first time using this, how this is looking. So far I did like how the application of this one went. The application of this one was very smooth. This is a very, what I would say, one of those very liquidy foundations to apply, but I didn't like it how it went on the skin, but the undertone might be a bit off. But Yeah, interested to see how this will be when I'm gonna be using this a longer time, how I'm gonna like it. But so far, first impression, it's a glowier foundation. The shade might be a bit off, but it's an alright foundation, at least for me for now. Then another thing that I'm wearing for the first time, so I got one of their, this is an all over CC concealer, so they do actually have this CC range of a CC cream, but I decided to get it the concealer, and I'm gonna show again, this has a traditional doe food applicator. I do think the concealer shade is actually quite okay. This is actually also in the shade 05 Light. This is what they advertise on their website as a medium coverage concealer. I would actually agree that this is a medium coverage concealer. This felt very creamy and nice going on, so this is definitely what I would say more of a hydrating concealer rather than being a full-on matte concealer. They do, I think, have a matte concealer in their sort of blur line of products, which is a more matte leaning product range, but again, at least when we are gearing towards summer, I'm actually did like how this applied, and I don't mind it that it isn't exactly a full coverage concealer, but first impressions, first day of wearing, let's see how this is gonna be, how I feel about this after the couple of weeks when this is in my rotation. Then a mascara that I got from them, so this is the Nordic Berry Length and Volume Mascara, so this is how the packaging, it has a nice pink packaging. I like the wand of this one. It is a very skinny wand, however this has plastic bristles. We all know that I'm not a fan of plastic bristles, but I actually saw that I think most of their mascaras have plastic bristles, which is a bit of a bummer. First impressions, especially with mascara, I am going to wait for using this at least for a couple, like I'm not gonna be like making judgment based on now my first impression, because usually using mascaras first time isn't the best. I layered this 3 times to get the sort of result I have on my eyes today. I really did have to layer this quite a lot to get it to look somehow decent. First impression was that this is quite of a separating and lengthening mascara. I don't know where the volumizing effect will come. It could be that this formula needs to dry down a little bit for the volumizing effect to come out, but with mascaras definitely you have to use them a couple of weeks and have the formula settle down. The wand was quite nice. I do like the thin wand shape, even though I would prefer the traditional bristles instead of the plastic ones, but the wand shape is quite nice because it is thin and you will get to the root of your lashes easier. Then the gloss that I'm wearing, so this is the Luminous Shine Hydrating and Plumping Lip Gloss, and I think this is in the shade 2 Old Rose. This was actually quite of an interesting shade because it kind of looks pink on a tube, but on the lips it kind of goes this pearlescent white. Kind of reminds me of some of the lip glosses we had in the 90s, in the beginning of 2000s, but I think it so far feels nice on my lips and looks quite nice on my lips. It says plumping, but I don't feel that this burns or has any cooling effect on your lips, so I think the plumping means that it's because it looks quite shiny, that it's meant to give this sort of plump look to your lips, but this doesn't do anything irritating to your lips, even though it has the plumping in the sort of shade description. But yeah, again, so far quite of a nice product, at least based on first impression, and interesting sort of throwback shade to maybe something that I used to see a lot, for example, on the teen magazines when I was maybe younger. But yeah, interested to see how I'm gonna be feel about this in a couple of weeks' time. Then another lip product that I haven't yet worn, so I've tried to avoid buying these lip oils in a tube, but I finally caved in. So this is actually a relatively new product from them. So this is the Lip Glow Oil Balm, and this is in the shade Raspberry, so it is this mauvish. I'm gonna have to test this out and see how much color payoff these have, because apparently based on brand there's quite a lot of variation. With some brands, these sort of lip oil balms that are in this kind of tubes, they have quite a lot of pigment, and then some brands they don't have a lot of pigment, so I'll have to wear this and see, but at least the packaging, this is pretty typical. I think I can open this up and maybe see what kind of... So the applicator at least doesn't look anything special, but yeah, we shall see when I get to use this one how I feel about it. And then the last product that I got from the brand, so this is the Natural Glow Skin Tone Perfector in the shade 4 Raspberry Blush. So they have these glowier, this is actually the blush that I'm wearing today. They have, I don't think they're calling this whole product as a blush, because they do also have a sort of very glowy bronzer highlighter also in this similar packaging, but I got the blush shade. They do have 2 blush shades within this range. This was definitely a more buildable product just based on, again, first impressions. Let's see how I'm gonna like this at the end of the couple of weeks, because I did feel at least first time using this that I did have to build this quite a lot when I put it on my cheeks, but again, in terms of application, it spread out evenly, looked very nice. Definitely a more glowier formula just based on wearing it today. Then let's get to some of the palettes. So first one was a face palette. So this is from NARS. Also, I managed to get this from Notino. Notino had a pretty good offer and you were able to get a discount even from new products. So this is the fairest variation from the cheek palette. So this is the Hot Escape cheek palette in the variation 1. And this was already included in my makeup review video, so that is already up on my channel. So this has one blush lighter, then there's the Laguna 01 bronzer, and then we have a highlighter. Pretty impressed with this one. A lot more pigmented than I expected from my previous usage of NARS cheek products, but I did like the quality of these ones. I took into consideration that this was a more pigmented formula, so I sort of did change my applications, started more slowly, but good quality powders. If you like your NARS cheek products, I do think these are pretty good. Then for the palette, so this is the palette that I'm wearing first time today. So this is something that I got with the NARS palette. So this is the Cool Neutrals from Sigma. I think they brought this out last year. I already took the brush out of this one, so just like with the other Sigma products, this did come up with the double-sided brush, and I'm very sorry about the reflection because this is a very reflective packaging. I can actually bring this close by. First impression, just having this, having dug this out first time today, it is definitely more of a drier formula, and this applies both to the shimmer shade I used. What shades did I use? I used this one, so the shade Talisman over here, then I used the shade Condor over here, which was the deeper one, and then I used two shimmers, so I basically used the Mauvish Shimmer Laguna over here, and then the lighter shimmer, which is the Angel Wing over here. And all of these felt pretty dry, which necessarily I will have to use this up more, not a bad thing. I do think I was able to get a very pretty look, but definitely a different kind of formula from maybe some other eyeshadow palette formulas that I've used. And I do think this was quite of a interesting thing because my previous Sigma palette that I have tried was the Corda Rosa palette years back that used to be one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and I didn't, because it was such a long time from trying Sigma eyeshadow palettes, I didn't have like any kind of expectations what to expect, but a bit drier eyeshadow formula. I do think the look came out quite nicely, and I do like this combination of like cooler tones mixed with some warmer neutrals, but I'm interested to see what kind of looks I will be getting from this one. And then the last product, and this was perhaps the most something that I was very excited about. So from the Monolith Shops May haul, I got the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette. This one I have only swatched. You are able to find a swatch shorts from my channel from the Sigma palette and from this one, but this one I haven't yet used on my eyes. Based on purely swatches, this looks very beautiful, and the shimmers and the mattes do feel quite nice, but with Glaminatrix formula I have the Rich Romantic from them, and with that one I had the issue that the shimmers were a bit, they creased on me, not just a little bit but quite a lot. It's something that has been a bit, it's a palette that I think I continuously in my declutter videos I go with back and forth that do I want to declutter it, because for me the shimmers crease so much that it's almost like unusable. So I'm interested to see, because they have now had a couple of formula iterations after the Rich Romantic, so I'm interested to see how the shimmer formula, especially of this one, compares to the one in Rich Romantic. Yeah, but I'm very excited to get to try this one out, and I do think this is a very beautiful, beautiful neutral palette with a twist, is what I would call this one. But yeah, those were actually all the products that I had from the month of May. Comment down below what kind of products have you been getting during the month of May, or if you have been on a low buy or a no buy, then also let us know how that is going. I actually do think that I did get quite of an interesting products, and well, the NARS palette I have already reviewed, and the lip liners obviously are a product formula that I already know that I like, but interested to try out some of these products that I said that are still, I haven't either tried them or that they are currently in my rotation, and will be very interesting to sort of review them and then tell my feedback about them to you. If you like this video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell button if you want to get notifications from future content. You can also find me with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog, on Instagram. I hope we can see you in another video. Bye bye!